Hello, fellow investors. Today we're going to talk about Palantir. Palantir is a software company that provides services to governments all over the world, especially Western governments. And I think that Palantir is extremely overvalued, and I have a short thesis against the company. The reason is I have a short thesis is because her valuation is so high that you can make so much money on the company if you short it well. Let's see what I'm talking about. Okay, first of all, look at the price of Palantir. In a few years, in 3 years approximately, it went from an IPO of $9 to the current price of $187. It has been extremely volatile and it went up a lot. But does this valuation justify the actual profits that she makes? We can see that the valuation of the company is $443 billion, almost half $1 trillion. Her PE ratio is at 623. In comparison, the PE ratio of the S&P 500 is historically 25. So it's approximately 20 times and even more than the average PE of the S&P 500. So it is very, very overvalued, even in the standards of a tech company. The company has been operating for several years, and in the start of its operation, it has been losing money. And the main way that it had been funding the loss of this money is by issuing shares, is by selling shares to retail investors like you and me, and thus financing the company's operation. We can see that the company's shares outstanding in 2020 were 500 million, and today they are 2.5 billion. They have sold 2 billion worth of shares in a couple of years. And this sale of shares diluted the shareholders, the current shareholders, almost every quarter, and the profits that it makes spreads among more shareholders every quarter. The company itself is writing that it has several risk factors that are very significant. For example, they say they had a history of recurring losses before they achieved profitability in the last few quarters. But they anticipate that they might not keep this profitability and return to being underwater, losing money. They will not maintain profitability. Also, the company has built a theme around it that it is growing in a very aggressive manner. But the company itself is saying that they may not be able to sustain this growth, and it's unrealistic to expect the company to keep growing at the current rates. It also says that the sales efforts of the company is very expensive and prolonged, and basically they're saying that it's hard to sell their product. They're also saying that they rely on very few customers. So their revenue depends not on the general public, but on a few people that decide if this company shall get the revenue or not. So if the relationship with one customer goes bad, it will seriously hurt the company's revenue. We can also see on the news that even professional investors like Kathy Woods think the company is overvalued, and they have started to sell the stock and to sell their positions in Palantir, which may signal that Palantir has reached its summit. Another key important note is that the main driver behind the company's stock price is its founder, Alex Karp, and people are buying the stock because of him. But as history teaches us, the 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 company owner, he can be a promoter. Okay, when the company owner is a good promoter, he will promote the stock price way above its fair valuation. Let's see what he has to say. It is an example, the promotion that he gives for his company. Okay, this is in response when people said that the company is overvalued. So he says traditional metrics do not apply on Palantir. You have to take other metrics that, according to his uh, thoughts. He says that we have to give our corporations and governments an unfair advantage. Okay, so basically, Palantir has a software that detects its counterterrorism and stuff like that, and they detect illegal activities. So their product is very, very narrow. It has a one function, and it has a very limited amount of clients, which are governments. And I believe that this is just a trend, and this technology, the company's technology, is easily replicatable, and if other competitors can do it and provide it too. Not speaking about AI, which means that this company has no moat, as Warren Buffett says. It has no moat to protect its product. It's very, very fragile, and it can be broken easily. So my thesis is that Palantir should be shorted, but the question is, what is the best way to short it? In my opinion, the best way to short Palantir, because it's a very volatile stock, is to buy put options on the stock um, that have a expiry date 2 years ahead, which means 2 years from now. So to buy a put options on the stock, I would recommend a combination of put options to buy them. This way, your loss can be minimal, but your profit can be very significant. So yes, there is some risk to this trade, but I believe that Palantir is very, very overvalued, and it should go down to normal valuations in the next few years. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.